Hello, everybody. Is that slightly off center? Never mind. Just a quick heads up that I there's something going on with my throat chakra today. I thought I was a little bit poorly. So I actually went back to bed trying to have a sleep, but I just instantly got like so many downloads. Like I couldn't sleep. There was too much being given to me, and I was like, I have to do a reading. So I've got a little bit of tea here with me, like honey, lemon, ginger, ginseng, something else. So I've got that on the go. So hopefully that's going to help me. But I'm more feeling like it's because it doesn't feel like when you get poorly, it feels more like it's something to do with my chakra. It's like maybe like a bit like when you get a bit of pepper in the back of your throat, it's a bit like that, but it's coming in with this kind of feeling of suffocation too, like literally like there's no air. So that's going to go somewhere, so trigger warning. What I'm getting through, I think, is going to be a kind of global message. We're probably going to see this playing out in the news and in the media on like a big scale, and it could also play out on a smaller scale in our kind of daily lives. I feel like I'm watching an episode of like CSI or something with the stuff that's coming through. And the cards that are on the table are talking to me about like the powers that be, the structure, the government, the law, the people in power. I believe this is because I believe the reason why I'm doing this reading, because I was actually meant to be doing Capricorn's reading today, and I thought, no, this feels like something else. And I've got these ephemerises off the internet, and when I look at this on the 11th, that's when is it Jupiter? I want to say no. Hang on, let me just double check my facts here. No, it is Saturn. Yeah, I was right, and then I doubted myself, and then said the wrong thing. Saturn went direct on the 11th of Monday. It's been going retrograde in Aquarius for quite a long time. Now, Saturn rules Capricorn, and Aquarius is kind of coming through here as well. So I've got to tell you about the energy that's at play here. And this is not signs. This isn't like somebody who's a Libra or somebody who's a Taurus. It's the powers, it's the energy as a whole. I'm getting through Libra, Taurus, Aries, Capricorn and Aquarius quite strongly, possibly a bit of Cancer as well. So what does all this mean? Saturn is a planet about rules. It's the father figure of the zodiac. So it's kind of like you can see here we've got the emperor and the high priest. It's like the powers that be, the patriarchy. Saturn teaches us really tough lessons when he moves through our sign. So he governs things like buildings, structures, governing bodies, the people who hold power, right? The people who make the rules, the people who have authority. That's kind of Saturn energy. Moving through Aquarius. Now, when Saturn was in Capricorn, it was kind of like a doubling up of the energy. So it gave these kind of like governing bodies a lot of power. You can see how my throat's easing as I start to talk. So it was kind of like we found that, you can look at like things that were going on in the news. There was an increase of things like police powers and things like this in that time. Crackdowns on protests and all this kind of thing. So with Saturn moving into Aquarius, Aquarius is more of a innovator. Aquarius changes things. Aquarius thinks about the good of the whole. So I feel like there's something coming through about faith in the system, like that Saturn energy, that Capricorn kind of governing energy is there for a reason. It's supposed to work. It's supposed to keep people safe. It's supposed to create laws that, establish, a society that works well together. There's a point to having Saturn energy. It's not that this is bad in any way, shape or form. In fact, I may actually read to you the meaning of this emperor here. The description in the guidebook for this emperor. And this Saturn energy is good for us. It's if you think about what a father should be, and I know I'm talking about stereotypes and gender, but it's just how the energy works. So just kind of roll with it a little bit. It doesn't mean it's a man doing it, by the way. It could be a woman, but it's the people who are using that kind of the established traditions and culture and the way that society works, right? It's the people who see the benefit of that and kind of use it in their favor. So the High Priestess would talk about also like the faith, the shared values, the belief systems, the traditions, the culture, the moral rules of a society. And then the Justice card talks about the legal rules of a society, you know, the laws that are in place, the police, you know, contracts, all this kind of thing. So yeah, it's just the systems at play and working ideally well together. Now, if there was a problem with these systems, say perhaps we had a corrupt political system, or a police force that didn't work equally and fairly for everybody, or oppressive, you know, religions, if any of these became corrupt in any way, sort of way, that's where this Aquarian energy is going to kind of start to innovate it. Now, I want to say that it's not a complete breakdown and restructure. It's not let's throw the rule book out of the window and completely redo it. I think the Aquarian energy is innovates, it changes, it modifies. So I want to say that a lot of the things that are in place do work for the whole. They do work well. So rather than kind of like completely wiping it all away and starting again, I feel like this is a time when we're going to start to see slight tweaks. So it could be changes to the law, or you know, a rethinking of values. Do these values work for everybody? Do we need to perhaps have a more open approach with Aquarius? Are these emperors, should they hold the power? Are they working for the good of everybody, or are they out for themselves? So it's like, do we have the right people in the right positions? Okay, with all that in mind, what I want to say is that I'm picking up on false emperors. So emperors in reverse, right? Emperors in reverse, or in tarot it would be emperors with or, you know, or the Hierophant is this kind of energy, you know, the devil attached, the puppeteer, the person pulling the strings. So I'm getting, and I'm not saying this is this person, I'm just trying to give you examples of how I'm kind of seeing it. So when the system fails, when somebody takes advantage of a system, then I feel like that's happening, and I feel like it's happening perhaps on a global level. You know, we're seeing it play out in the media, but also on kind of personal levels. So it could be like the people who run businesses and things like this taking advantage of their employees. I feel like also like siphoning money, right? People who are siphoning money from a business, something like that. I'm kind of getting almost like I was talking about CSI, right? It's like a sting, or, you know, somebody wearing a wire or something. It's like letting somebody speak and letting them. I'll give you the stuff that was coming through. So the first thing that I saw was they were giving me an energy of somebody who was tightly wound. It was like this tapping energy that I was picking up on for Aries. It's like somebody's getting impatient or irritable, and it's like somebody's winding them up. This winding energy. It's almost like I'm seeing almost like a copper wire, right, going round and round and round. So it's like somebody's winding someone up. Somebody's like pulling somebody's chain or something. It's like it's almost like going slowly irritates this person, but it's winding them up in order to get them to make a mistake, almost. Because then they were showing me, it was a euphemism of like somebody digging their own grave, or it's like somebody had wound their own bomb kind of thing. It was like they'd been doing this thing, but actually it turned out that they were self-destructing in some kind of way. So I kind of got, with the tapping and this tightly wound, I got ticking time bomb. So I feel like there could be somebody who is it's almost like they're getting to a point where they're going to explode. So obviously I'm not talking about literal bad things. I'm just talking about like they give me metaphors to explain what's happening with the person. So this person's getting really tightly wound, really kind of like oh, it's like just frustrated and impatient, and yeah, they're gonna kind of blow the top kind of thing. They're gonna get so wound up that they lose control. But it's I kind of feel like it's gonna kind of show the true colours. It's gonna kind of show who they really are, because it's like they can't help themselves. They just, oh. So it's giving me this kind of like letting a rope out energy. So again, with the euphemism of you give someone enough rope, you know, and with this tightly wound, it's like you, it's sort of making me think of like Jeffrey Epstein as well. I don't want to kind of say exactly what I'm getting. I'm inferring it. So again, I'm talking about a metaphor. So this is somebody who is, they're, it's almost like they're going to get caught in a trap of their own making, I want to say. It's like letting somebody talk themselves into a corner, or letting somebody, it's almost like this person's going to out themselves. Yeah, self-destruct. I heard this message is going to self-destruct, you know, like Mission Impossible. And then I was getting a tune, and I hope I get the right tune when I try and do it now, because I can't think of a tune when I've got another tune in my head. But it was like, I want to say that's the tune. I did look it up and I did find it, and I was thinking, is it Star Wars? Because I'm an idiot. And I eventually figured out what it was, and it was Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are go, right? So it feels like somebody, again, it's like I'm watching an episode of CSI. It's like somebody's wearing a wire, they're letting this person talk, they're pushing the buttons, this person finally says something that kind of entraps them, you know, they say the thing that it's like, right, we've got them, book 'em daddo, or what did it say, book 'em dano, or something like that, I don't know. So yeah, it's like finally they say the thing, and that's when the SWAT team goes in. It's like, Thunderbirds are go. So you can see it's like somebody's trying to, it's like with the strings, it's like the devil's going to trap themselves in their own strings, is how it's coming through. I want to say it's like a false King of Cups, which would be Scorpio, but it's this energy of like, I'm starting to get a headache now. It's this energy of somebody who's almost been using the systems to their own advantage. You know, like people who like take advantage of NDAs, you know, and like people who, it's like, you can't touch me because, you know, because of the law, that kind of thing. And it's, you know, people who have corporate lawyers, and it's like, you can't touch me, you can't touch this. It's that kind of energy where actually they're gonna, it's like they're gonna self-destruct, right? They've wound the cord too tightly around themselves. They can't escape this. So Thunderbirds, I'll go. Then they were showing me an exhaust, like an exhaust on a car. It was coming with like a woman's hand. It was like there was a woman's hand near the exhaust. It looked a little bit phallic, I'm gonna say, but it was like she was putting something in the exhaust. So if you do have a car and you're going through something like this, maybe check your exhaust. I had something about a snake being under the tire as well at some point. So I don't know if it's like, you know, when people sweep the car, I don't know if I'm getting that kind of thing. It could just be a TV show. I've been getting a lot of Squid Games as well this week through the different readings. I think Aquarius and Taurus are getting Squid Game kind of stuff. It's like watching people play a game, but it's almost like this person's going to be beaten at their own game, I want to say. It's like, it's almost like it came through for Taurus. It was like, I made the game, and I'm watching everybody fighting to win this game, but I created the game. So I'm going to, you know, it's like, I'm going to win because I created the game kind of thing. But it's almost like playing this person at their own game. It came through for somebody else as well with this kind of like checkerboard, black and white thing. So yeah, it's funny. So with the exhaust and this thing being put in the exhaust, I was getting backfire, right? Backfire, which again is like something's going to backfire on somebody. So that actually, I went and made myself some breakfast. I got myself up, I made myself my tea, I went and got some breakfast, and I was kind of like scrolling through YouTube as I was waiting to do this reading, and I saw a reading by Sun Tarot, and it was for Capricorn, and the title caught my eye because I'd been given the word backfire. They showed me an exhaust with something being put in it, and backfire, right? And they were showing me all underneath as well. They were showing me like the exhaust, but like, I don't know cars, but they were showing me like the silver like tube, and then like a big bit, and then like another pipe. So it's like the whole exhaust. Maybe somebody's just exhausted, right? But yeah, the Sun Tarot reading, it had the word backfire. And I was like, well, that's what I just got. So there could be something in there for somebody. So, okay. Oh, that's what we're dealing with so far. So There's something coming through in somebody's reading as well about the decisions being, I think it was the Libra reading that I didn't, I'm not going to put it up because I had to stop halfway through. But originally in the Libra reading, there was something about, you see the veil on the Justice card. This talks about the front facing, like the spokespeople of the company, and then it was kind of like the decision makers behind the face of the company is how it was coming through. So you could talk about politicians and then, you know, the advisors, that kind of energy. Something like that was coming through for Libra. And these two cards together also talk about, with this indicating legalities and contracts and paperwork and things like this, and this being kind of governing bodies, it also talks about things like passports and visas and things like that as well. You know, like IDs and things, driving licenses. But there's something with these emperors. Now, the emperor keeps on coming out off camera in different readings. I do feel like there's something going on with Capricorn, and Capricorn are coming out as the good guys on the whole at the moment. And it's almost like, it's almost like Capricorn is going to fill the shoes of the previous emperor, because they were getting all this take the lead stuff a while back. And it's almost like in the readings that, like, some of the songs they're getting, I think Mr. Play It Safe was the title of the last reading, and then they've got something in the next reading. I'm not going to blow it, but a song came through for the next reading that was like that they were the good guy, right? I'm interested to see what they get when I do the reading, like after this one. But it was, because this one's really fatherly, right? He's an emperor, but he's a fatherly emperor. He's looking at these children. He's thinking about the future. I get quite often for Capricorn this thing about Aeneas carrying his father on his shoulder and pulling his son by his hand, which talks about Aeneas's. This is a character from Roman myth. He was taking on his responsibilities. He was taking on this this Saturn-like energy of the patriarchy, of what's been before, of the traditions, the rules that are handed down, but he was modifying them and thinking about the future of his children, and what did he want society to look like for them. So it was taking on the burdens and responsibilities of the past, while also leading the future in, guiding, being the guidance, right, of this kind of Hierophant energy, being the teacher, the moral father figure that's needed. It's funny, I keep on getting daddy issues as well, which Daddy Issues by The Neighbourhood came through for somebody. I can't remember who this week. And it's been replaying in my head. So it's like, I know you've got daddy issues. I do too. So let's make it better for the children, something like that. After something, this came through in Libra's reading as well. It's like after something that like looked on the surface like it was love, but actually underneath it was like that person had issues too. A lot coming through, right? I know. So let's just bejewel this over a second. Please move along. Nothing to see here. These are the cards that I'm going to use for actually pulling cards on camera. And the underlying already, I haven't even shuffled yet, is telling the story. So the shapeshifter, I keep getting this thing through about the shapeshifter. Somebody who changes depending on what's... It's almost like the changing face of a company, right, to what's pleasing to people. Or it could be a person who, they act very differently behind the scenes to the way that they do on camera. It's this kind of energy. It's like a duplicitous. With this, I was seeing, now, to me, diamonds are imagery that's connected with Libra. And it's... I visualize diamonds a lot when I'm working with energy in kind of like a meditation kind of way. So I do a lot of visualization. And so for me, like the energy, if you think about the light, pure white light going into a diamond, it refracts, it comes out in lots of different colours. So, and the diamond as well has lots of different facets. So to me, it's like Libra's diamond mind, diamond heart, diamond soul, right? It's like looking at things from all different angles, but also being able to shine a light through and see the whole. So it's something to do with Libra's ability to perceive the whole and not one facet at a time. So when I was doing this visualization technique, which is a little bit like lucid dreaming, if I was going to try and describe it to you, it's a little bit like lucid dreaming, where sometimes I'm in control of the vision and then sometimes I'm given visions. And so I was seeing the diamond, I was trying to visualize this pure white light coming through and cleansing my aura, if you like. I know I sound crazy, shut up, you do too. You've got your own crazy things, you just hide them better than me. So yeah, this cleansing of the aura visualization technique that I was doing, and what was given to me, so this didn't, I was in control of the vision, then the vision was taken over by this other vision. It was like a download, so it was almost like a broadcast, right? If you think about TV signals coming from, here you go, look, like TV signals coming from the sky. It was like this white light coming in, but then the diamond kind of lit up, and it was like it almost looked like a kaleidoscope. It was like so many colours all of a sudden just on the diamond. So, but it was still see-through. And I could see each one of the facets was like, it was like a different scene. So it was almost like, you know, in movies where, you know, if it was like the FBI or something and they're monitoring a lot of stuff, it's like suddenly I was inside the diamond and I was looking at all the different facets, and it was like all these different TV monitors. I was like surrounded by these TV monitors. It's something about being able to see. Something about being able to see all the different facets all at once of whatever the shapeshifter energy is. And I feel like the shapeshifter is this negative kind of emperor or energy. It's like you can see every side of it. All right, and I'm not saying it's a specific sign, by the way, it's the energy. And then the whale is like big, dark, hidden secrets being resurfaced, something coming up to the surface, something resurfacing, something coming up, right? And then action, quick action, and a lot of communication. So already the cards are really speaking quite a bit. Right, excuse me a second, I'm just going to have some of my tea. Okay, so the poets, well, interesting. And when there's you know, times of a lot of interesting political stuff, you do normally get kind of the poets and the writers creating interesting observations on that. Okay, so hold on. Oh, okay, so there could be some sort of fallout. It could be a fallout with a mother. I've got the mother, the prayer, the sword. Is this truth? The whale fell off the table, and the lion. Yeah, it feels like a big dark secret coming up, and then this person stepping up and taking the lead. Right? It's like almost like a facing energy. What's this Kairos? I'm a little bit grumpy because I actually did want to sleep. I didn't want to be doing this reading. My plan was, right, I've got Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces to do. And I'll have a nap first because this is like, I just felt really tired. And now I'm doing this. Like my plan backfired on me. So Kairos is mythic time and synchronicity. We have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt, this again, Libra had something about a clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time. I'm saying the Libra reading that's scheduled for next Monday. Losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time, and it's the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum. That's making me think of Dude, Where's My Car? So another car reference. That goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules. Within this non-linear realm, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it's all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. So it's like, when is it time to act? Again, it's go time, right? Thunderbirds are go. I guess you know when this person, and look at the coil, you see? You see how the stuff plays out. This coil is tightly wound, tightly wrapped. And there's the hand, you see, this hand reaching for the pearl. So there is something, is it a pearl or a diamond? Oh, it's a diamond. There's the diamond and pearl again. I keep getting the diamond and the pearl. It's who's the diamond, who's the pearl. If you're interested in more on that, you can go and watch the heraldry reading that's up on my channel. It's a Tell Me Anything reading. It's quite recent. And I got all this stuff about heraldry, and oh, it was a weird dive into like the different colours that they use on different what's it called? Like, yeah, heraldry symbols, like the kind of shields. So shielding, a mother who's shielding. Now this is taking me back to Libra and brick house, because like the protection of the mother, right? The protection of or overprotection of the mother, the brick house. And the keystone, which apparently is it's not only the top of the arch that holds the arch together, but it was talking to me about the matriarch of the family that holds the whole family together. The keystone, right? Okay, so who's the diamond, who's the pearl? Who was first? I did a reading on this. Who was it was actually about somebody who was copycatting. I did it on this copycat energy that I was getting, this kind of shapeshifter copycat, and it was talking about like a mother and child, but the weird thing, it was like the mother was copying the child. It was like the child came first. The mother, the great mother, the feminine, the source. We begin our ancestral story with the mother's love. Through her sensual, fertile, and life-giving energy, all creation takes form. Regardless of our birth story, each of our hearts beat for the first time in the warm womb of the mother, where she offered resources from her body for the building of our own. And yet her tale is not so simple, as the mother, especially on the earthly plane, contains both light and dark aspects of the feminine. With the best of intentions, the mother wraps her loving arms around her creations and begins to grip what she meant to set free. The mother both nurtures and prohibits growth. She gives yet clings. She creates yet restricts. Amid this complex energy, the mother holds the key to the eternal challenge of love. When light, glowing, generative, creative, nurturing. When dark, dim, exhausted, controlling, and limiting. Go deeper, read Tao Te Ching, Chapter 1, and imagine the mother of 10,000 things. Notice how it makes me think as well of the mother of monsters. I think in Greek mythology, she was like the mother of the Hydra and all these different, like the Cyclops and things like this. I can't remember who it was, but it's making me think of that. And notice how the mother archetype is expressed in nature. It is perhaps the most balanced and benevolent form of the mother's grace. The mother is part of the trifecta maiden mother crone because of the relationship between them. Take special note when these cards appear in one reading. Well, they haven't. So the mother. Tell me about the mother. So it's like this a suffocating mother, perhaps. She's overprotective. She clings what she was meant to set free. It's funny we're talking about fathers, right? The patriarchy, and now we're getting mother energy. They just gave me Oedipus. I'm sure Freud could have a field day with this reading. Tell me about the mother. The elephant and the lion. That's funny because I associate elephants with my mum. It's a favourite animal. The elephant and the lion. It's funny, I was talking about that lion facing up to the whale, facing up to dark secrets. The elephant moves through the dark. The elephant plods. The elephant isn't sure where they're going, but they put one step in front of the other because they're determined to keep moving forward. They're guided by this small light. So there's something about carrying a fire, carrying a light, and using your intuition to move forward. Elephants are a very matriarchal animal. If you look at the way that elephants behave, you know, the mothers all work together to protect the children. It's kind of a teamwork thing. And yeah, if there's a if there's a predator, if there's a threat, the baby elephants go to the center and the older elephants go around the edges of the circle to protect the smaller elephants. So I feel like this mother has fought a few battles in her life. You can see one of the tusks has broken there. She's not known exactly where she was going, but she kept moving forwards through dark times. So I feel like this mother could be a little bit of a fighter. It also could be a mother who has faced challenges, so therefore it's created an overprotective energy where this pearl is just overprotected, kind of giving me Britney Spears overprotected. But it's like it's time for somebody here to, it could be again talking about the mother's character, this lion. She's the head of the family, the head of the pride. But it's also talking to me about the way that lions behave. There's this one, there's normally one adult male lion, isn't there? And then there's this lots of females around this lion. And then, you know, the females are the ones that go out and hunt. So this, again, this kind of like this group energy of the women protecting the child. And then again, this thing about the lion has to, you know, as when the lion cubs grow up, they actually have to fight their own father to take like control of the pride. So this, I feel like it's something to do with like how I was kind of talking about, you know, the child taking on the father kind of energy, you know, the emperor taking on the previous emperor and what went before. Okay, the prayer. I really hope this is helpful to someone. It's a strange reading. The worship, I mean, it's not really, if you think about it. I think a lot of people have overprotective mothers, right? Or absent mothers, absent fathers, overprotective mothers. You know, it's or the opposite. You know, it doesn't have to be a gendered thing. You know, there's a lot of things. I was talking about daddy issues. You know. So here's the pearl. The pearl's in the nest, but this hand is reaching out of the nest towards the diamond, because the diamond is going to give people the ability to have this kaleidoscope vision, right? The seeing all the facets, seeing the whole. So this diamond is a tool. There's something as well about something being pressured, again with this suffocating energy, this tightly wrapped energy of almost, you know, like how there's something about the pearl being an irritant to the oyster. So it could be like a mother who got quite irritated with her child, but it's almost like maybe it's like an overbearing mother who put a lot of pressure on a child, but it's actually forged, it's created the character of this person, right? Now this person's hard like a diamond, you know? A diamond's forged with pressure. The prayer, the worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer, this is like the Hierophant energy coming in now, so maybe it's like a female emperor or something, I don't know. Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent self-centered thinking that spins us towards illusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not the centre of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. That sounds like yoga to me. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time, nothing else will do. When light, offering to be of service and asking for guidance. When dark, expecting results, self-aggrandizement. Go deeper, ask to be of service. Blah, 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 I can't speak today. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. Experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. Okay. The prayer. So somebody who works very, very hard with the beaver. These kind of like, the otter and the beaver both go is like water and earth energy. So it's like they spend a lot of time in the water, in their emotions, but they're also really practical. They spend a lot of time doing earthly, you know, practical things. Both, I think, earth energy. Let me just go to my handy dandy little chart. Water. It says water. Water energy. Okay, so they're both water energy. The beaver works really hard to build a home as well. Like they chop down the trees, they build the home. They're very handy. It kind of gives me outdoorsy woodsman kind of energy. The otter for me is an energy. It's quite a happy-go-lucky. This is somebody who's like happy at work. They're happy to work hard, right? Like I always think the beaver looks really, really funny. Can you see? I can't see if you can see. He's got like such a happy little face. It's like this person's just quite happy doing what they're doing. You know, they're working hard. But the otter always talks to me about somebody looking for the mate. It's somebody who otters tend to pair up. They tend to kind of mate for life. So there's also this golden egg, like so it kind of could talk to me with the mother being here and stuff. It could talk to me about like inheritance. Again, there's this like nest egg, right? Somebody building up a nest egg. So somebody working hard to build a future for themselves and perhaps to start a family of their own, something like this. Okay, so the sword. The golden egg, though, is also like the Ace of Pentacles. It's almost like a gift from the universe. It's a golden opportunity. So a lot of money attached to this. Now, this is definitely giving me earth sign energy. It's funny, we've got earth sign energy here. And then what's this? Is this fire? Yeah, that's fire. So it could be dealing with a fire sign and an earth sign. But this is somebody, or what? I don't know, I'm getting earth and water and also like spirit as well. This is like somebody who's very spiritual. So I feel like these could be different people. This is giving me a nice energy. And then the sword. So assuming that's going to be air sign. The knife, the blade. The reason why I say that is because it reminds me of like the Justice card. She carries a sword, the sword of truth, the sword of justice, and the Justice card energy talks to me about integrity, honesty, doing things by, you know, the lawful way, the righteous way, I guess. I'm trying to think of a Roman word for it. And I can't quite, it's on the tip of my tongue, I can't quite get it. But it's a word that means like integrity and honour and things like this, being an honourable person, because you're a truthful person, because you do things the right way. So it's very Justice card, it's very Queen of Swords and King of Swords too, which would be Libra, Aquarius, but it doesn't have to be. The knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. I'm just going to actually... the choice is made and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. The weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cord we share with the mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourselves. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life. And the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. When light, cutting through to what is essential. When dark, hasty backstabbing, a dull and painful blade. Go deeper. Marina Abramovic's Rhythm Series. Caravaggio's Judith beheading Hollow Furnace. Boundary making, prioritising and clarifying are all gestures made possible by the sword. The sword is a metaphor for the pen and the brush, the artist's fierce and graceful tools. It's funny that we saw the poet as well before. Contemplate the Buddhist philosophy of the first and second arrow. Swing the sword once with precision and commitment. More than that will be painful for everyone involved. So being decisive, being clear, being honest, having integrity. The interesting thing that's coming through to me today, though, is this thing about the scales and the balance, right? So it could be somebody weighing up a decision. It could be like, you know, the evidence is presented, this person weighs the evidence, and then they make a decision. That sword falls. So tell me about the sword, please. Tell me about the sword. Why is the sword in this reading? Oh, double spirit. Okay, whoa, that's big energy. The phoenix and the sea serpent. Okay, well, the phoenix rises from the ashes. You know, they're giving me a Taylor Swift song. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. It's Marjorie by Taylor Swift. So a phoenix rising from the ashes, something not staying dead, something that's very powerful. This is, I want to say that spirit is on the side of this action or this person. If something's been, see this lightning as well. It's like if something's been cut out, if something's been blocked, again with this spirit, it's almost like spirit's intervening in this situation. It's something being revived. Where's the book for that? You're alive in my head. It's really weird. I've been getting all this stuff about somebody going into the underworld, you know, like Hercules and Orpheus, going down and facing Hades and coming back up again. Right, sea serpent. I don't know this card very well, so it's reminding me again of this. It's reminding me of this coiling energy, this protective coiling energy, but it's not quite caught its own tail. It also kind of gives me a dog, you know, chasing its own tail. It's perpetual, so it could be talking about divine timing, but sometimes it gives me like eggs and sperm as well, you know, and also this thing about divine timing that was coming through over here with Kairos. It's like, you know, you can break out of this netting, this webbing. There is an opportunity. If you get the timing right, you can get through the gap. Healing emotional wounds, expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. Interesting with the Hierophant stuff that we had as well. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. What's interesting as well is yesterday on Monday the 11th, it was also, was it Monday the 11th? And am I being really silly? I'm sure it was Monday the 11th. Yeah. I don't know, my timing got a bit off then. Kairos got the better of me for a second. Monday the 11th was also National Coming Out Day, I saw on Twitter, so it could be that somebody came out to a mother. That could be what it's talking about. We express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotion and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. So she's like a mother. People say, don't they, that people, you know, people marry the fathers or they, you know, they marry the mothers. It's funny, I was talking about Oedipus as well, right? Hopefully a healthier version of our fathers and mothers. Yeah, and that daddy issues. I know you got daddy issues. I do too. Elephant. I'm seeing a lot of burdens. I'm seeing a lot of darkness and a lot of burdens, but also a strategy to get out of that. There could be some kind of division of the assets there. Tell me about the lion, the magician, manifesting, moving forward. Can you see both of these animals are looking towards the future? So this person has everything they need, all the tools that they need to have a brighter future, to manifest their desires, to make their dreams a reality. Tell me about the otter. There's a painful ending here in regards to this otter. Could be the end of a karmic contract, the end of some kind of commitment. It was painful, it hurt. The beaver, please. The Hierophant again. So these kind of traditions, governing bodies, father figures, seeking guidance, taking the steps. It's funny, I didn't mention it, but I was getting the steps by Haim as well this morning. I've been taking the steps. I don't understand why you don't understand me. Mother of Cups, again, another mother. This is the Queen of Cups, Cancerian energy. It's somebody who has a huge amount of love to give. In the upright, this is somebody who has a lot of emotional control, a lot of love, definitely nurturing and protecting. Could be a mother figure. It could be a second mother figure who offers a lot of emotional guidance, you know, taking the steps again out of a situation where perhaps somebody has been feeling very stifled. Tell me about the golden egg. They're giving me "you're alive" in my head. Golden egg, independence, freedom and independence, standing on your own 2 feet. The Moon card and the Six of Swords. Moving on, but having a lot of fear and anxiety. Similar to this elephant, is like not knowing what the darkness holds. So needing to just hold on to hope and keep taking steps forward out of a dark situation. There could be a lot of fear involved. Again, this manifesting energy. Manifesting, and then here's those burdens again. They've come back out and they've actually landed over here. So whatever's happening over here, I feel like it's something to do with this person having a lot of burdens. Again, watch Libra's reading next Monday. And but using manifestation and the tools at the disposal to continue moving forward out of these brambles, these heavy burdens, and having something like this Phoenix energy, right? It's having a transformation, having freedom, having room to expand their wings, room to grow, having success. Feels like somebody who's wanting to be more independent financially, possibly. Tell me about the Phoenix energy. Well, did I ask about the golden egg? I was asking about the Phoenix. So, Father of Cups and the Star. So we've got partners now. We've had the Queen of Cups and now we've got the Father of Cups. It's deep emotions. I feel like this is more of a true Father of Cups. It could be somebody having the wish for somebody who is kind and supportive, who is emotionally stable, who is that kind of good father figure in their life. It could be a Father of Cups who has a lot of dreams and ambitions. It could also be somebody who's healing. Again, with this second life energy, like going on to follow the dreams, follow the wishes, follow their ambitions, to let go of those heavy burdens of the past. Sea serpent. 3 little birds outside my window, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true. This is my message to you. So this is in relation to the kind of the father-son energy that was playing out before. Somebody could have had quite a controlling parent. This person with this Son of Pentacles having the head down, it's kind of feeling a little bit like shame. It's like something about shame. Again, it could be shame for the things that make them passionate, the things that make them... It could be that this person was told that they were some kind of devil because of the things that they were passionate about or the things that they wanted to do. But they want to follow their dreams. 3 little birds. I feel like there is a community, there's friends, there's people who can support this person to get out of a situation where they feel like they're being suffocated and to follow the dreams and have that second life and that bright future. Death card. When something ends, I feel like that's when this person can truly be themselves and love freely. but something has to end first. What's the golden egg? You don't understand me, baby. The Hermit. There's something about soul searching, looking within, finding... Right, I want to say that this is for the person in the nest, right? This person in the nest, reaching for the hopes and dreams, feeling suffocated, feeling smothered. I want to say that there's something here about understanding your life experiences and understanding the things that have happened to you so far. When you look within, you can see that, they're telling me life gives you lessons. And it does look like a lemon. It's funny, I've got like my lemon in my tea. Life gives you lessons. Life gives you lemons. So the lemons are life's lessons. And you've been squeezed like a lemon, I want to say. But it's been making you stronger. It's been making you harder. Now they're giving me Christina Aguilera. Make me a little bit stronger. Make me a little bit wiser. Makes me that much smarter. Thanks for making me a fighter. So it's almost like, with the best of intentions, this person, you know, thinking that they were doing the right thing for the child. I want to say that they actually suffocated and smothered the child in a way that, hypothetically, obviously, where they weren't able to fully express their true desires, their true self, authentically. And I feel like it brought this person a lot of guilt and shame for feeling the things that they felt, which actually I think they found a community of people who taught them that it was okay to be who they were. And I think that they're preparing to cut themselves out of a restrictive environment in order to be who they authentically are on the inside, you know, understanding that everything that's happened to them in life has brought them to this point. This thing about divine timing as well. It's like it all happened for a reason, because it's created the character that this person is today. And that character is actually very, very, very strong and waiting to let their wings out and fly. And that's the reading, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave me a like if you like, subscribe, share it with your friends. You know, if you have been coming out to parents, I know how challenging that must be, especially, you know, if those parents are very religious or traditional, or, you know, if you've got a bit of a smother, you know, a mother who has the best of intentions but actually keeps you very restricted. It's kind of maybe a bit of even like a narcissistic mother. It's like, or a father, you know, those kind of people who, like, you know that they love you, you know that they're trying the best for you, you know that they're trying to keep you safe, but they don't understand you. Like, they don't understand you, and it's really hard because you feel like you have to break the heart in order to break yourself free. But I think that's ultimately, you know, again, looking at this Saturn energy being in Aquarius, I think you have to be the innovator. I think you have to be the I think you have to think, what would I want for my own children? You know, if my children came to me and said, can I have some guidance, I think I might be attracted to a certain type of person. You know, what would you want your children to be told? I think you have to be the change, you know. All right, take care of yourselves. I really enjoyed that reading, actually, once we got going. It took a different turn than what I was expecting, but it was good stuff. Do take care of yourselves. Love yourselves first and foremost as those beautiful diamonds in the rough that I know you are, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.